declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, or appeared on an NFL roster / signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. We welcome back Paul Finebaum. Paul, where do we go from here with this?
Well, perception is reality, and in all likelihood, the Big Ten will not get away with what they are going to vote on today, but at least they're winning the perception battle against the SEC. The SEC last night, after all of this going on in its league, mostly at LSU, issued just a completely vanilla boilerplate statement that really didn't have any teeth in it whatsoever, Evan, and that's what fans are looking for. The Big Ten knows it's going to get litigated just like everyone else, but sometimes you do have to make a show, a line, draw a line in the sand, and that's really what the Big Ten is doing. I think the Big 12 is following suit. Everyone is going to join hands here, and none of them are going to accomplish anything but wasting paper.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I give the Big Ten credit for just capitalizing on a moment to grandstand and another opportunity to beat their chest and say, hey, look at us. We're doing the right thing. Not only have we won 3 national championships in a row, we are the moral compass of college football, the Big Ten. Let's give them a round of applause. Because other than that, it really means nothing, because school is going to start in another week or so. This is not going to happen ever again next year. But the Big Ten gets their couple of hours where they can say, we are the moral compass of the sport. Congratulations, Tony Petitti.
Are you more intrigued to see whether Bill Belichick or Deion Sanders bounce back this season?
Evan, I'm pulling for Deion because he's a change agent and he's done so many good things, and he's also battling a very difficult illness and he's hoping to overcome it. I'm not pulling for Bill Belichick. He's a grouch, he's a bully, and his career in college is about to go down in flames. He lost Michael Lombardi, his chief assistant and GM. His son disappeared from the staff a couple of weeks ago as the defensive coordinator. It is mass chaos in Chapel Hill, is going to go down in flames, but he did it to himself. He couldn't accept that nobody in the NFL wanted him anymore. And because he is Bill Belichick and he knows more than anybody, even though we all now know that it was Tom Brady who led him to all those Super Bowl championships. Brady proved that the second he got out of there. Bill Belichick had to find a university that would offer him a job, and he would show the world that he is the greatest coach of all time. Instead, he's proven to be a disaster. He's one of the worst college football coaches in a short period of time I have ever seen, and I see no way this is going to be a successful landing or ending for Belichick.
You know, I think a lot of things can be true. Bill Belichick, I think, is the greatest National Football League coach of all time. I think when you look at him as a head coach, him as a defensive coordinator, he should be in the Hall of Fame today. He's going to wind up being one of the worst college football coaches of all time. I think I could see a scenario where we get to Halloween and Bobby Petrino, his offensive coordinator, is the interim coach there in Chapel Hill. I think if you look beyond the field, the administration, there's fighting going on there. I think everything is in flux at North Carolina, and it's going to start on the field with, I think, by the end of the season, them looking for a new coach. The more intriguing thing to me is Deion. Deion has been a phenomenal coach going back to high school. He was brought from Jackson State to Colorado to reinvigorate a program, to change, to make Colorado more notable. Deion could recruit on the level of Nick Saban. I think his cachet, his persona, everything he stands for, if this were 10 or 15 years ago, he could have recruited 5-star after 5-star the way that Nick Saban did. The fact that this is a new era and Saban is gone because it's a new era, and now it's about your school, how much money you have, and how much you're willing to spend. Deion has been on record about paying players and about how much he's not willing to do it and about who he's willing to do it with. And so I think this is a critical season because I think Deion is old school. And if my son were a football player, I would want him to play for somebody like Deion because of what he stands for. The problem is this. How many players is he going to be able to get in the future based on that? How many games is he going to win based on this new era of college football? I think that's the ultimate test. I don't think Deion is going to win enough games this season, and then it comes down to the administration. Are you willing to continue with the experiment and get more than you thought you were going to get? Because he's made Colorado more notable. He's put Colorado back on the map. We talk about Colorado on national television now. Now, do you think he can take you to the next level? I can't answer that question. That's going to be up to the administration. But I do know I'm more intrigued about Deion than I am about Belichick. I think I already know what Bill Belichick is. Greatest NFL coach, maybe the worst college coach ever. I think he's going to be fired somewhere around Halloween. Deion, I just don't know. And I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen in Boulder, Colorado.
So it's interesting that somehow, some way, we're saying Belichick is the worst coach ever, but he had a better record than Deion last year. In addition, we're saying Belichick only won because of a quarterback, and that the one winning season that Deion had was when Shedeur was there. And this is not meant to be a Deion negative thing. I think I'm all in on Deion being great. Let's root for Deion Sanders to be great. Paul is right. Change agent? Absolutely. I don't know. I guess I can go back at chaotic moments in Belichick's career and look at maybe the moment where Deflategate happened and he had a starting quarterback. The only reason that Paul's saying he won the Super Bowls, suspended for the first 4 games, they won the Super Bowl that year. Belichick has thrived in moments like this. The guy's been there for 1 year. He won 4 games. You're going to say he's the worst college coach ever? There are college coaches that went winless, that won 1 game. I understand that we need to separate college and pro, but we have gone completely overboard. How about giving him a second season? You guys love Bobby Petrino so much as a college coach. You want him to replace Belichick. How about giving Belichick credit for that hire then, Paul? No? I mean, that's a good offensive coordinator hire.
It was because Bobby Petrino, as a coordinator, is outstanding. But you're right about a lot, Evan. But it's the culture that is going to do Bill Belichick in. He really believed that he could go into a college program and change it because he's Bill Belichick. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Lane Kiffin would wipe the floor with him on a recruiting visit because Kiffin understands where it is at right now. Belichick doesn't, and the school invested a lot of money in a relic. And I know that sounds cruel, but it's a reality. On the other hand, Deion could in the right circumstance, could work. Unfortunately, Booger is correct. He won't put up for all that. He won't put up with all this stuff, and that's why he's struggling. And that's why Saban left, and that's why other coaches are going to flee. So you can prop Belichick up all you want, Evan, but I'll be over Boogers on Halloween night when we watch the firing, and I'll be in a Bill Belichick mask.
You know, it's amazing. I'm sure when you drive around New York, you probably use Apple Maps or Waze or Google Maps, and when you put your destination in, it shows you where the traffic is. And you can be a fool and go the wrong way if you want to, but those devices are usually right. I think we all see where Bill Belichick is going. Like, it's no secret. He changed his model from year 1 to year 2. He was heavy transfer portal. Now he's heavy high school recruiting. He signed 40 guys out of high school. You know what happens in high school, Ed? You're 17, 18 years old. You know what happens when you get to college football? It takes time to develop. So are we going to wait 2 more years for those 40 guys to start developing physically and mentally? No. Bill Belichick in North Carolina, they're going to get their head beat in. We are going to learn in 5 days in Dublin, Ireland, while some people are drinking a ton of Guinness over there, they're going to see a team wearing Carolina blue, and they're going to look on the other sideline, and they're going to say, TCU, with their Horned Frogs, is not in the same sport as North Carolina is. And I think then the world is going to see, you know what? Something's just not right. And guess what? It's nothing against Belichick. He didn't get a job in the National Football League. He wanted to continue coaching. He found a program that was willing to hire him. The fact that the game is different is not his fault. He thought he could do more with it, but he's been terrible. And the fact that in an era where the transfer portal has been dominant, he pivoted and went back to high school. He signed 40 18-year-olds last year. If you look at his team on Saturday, it's going to have an abundance of young people. Those young people are not going to be ready to play. And so, yes, I can look at my Apple Maps and know where the traffic is going to be. And if I go that route, that's on me. So if you want to go down the North Carolina route and think that they're going to be good this year, Evan Cohen, you go right ahead, sir.
Well, here's what I would like. I am in no position to speak for Shea and Stephen A., but on November 1st, if Bill Belichick is still the head coach at UNC, both of you come on the air on First Take in the Carolina Blue cutoff hoodies on First Take out of support to Coach Belichick.
Try to knock me off my feet, still standing with more money than I came with. Damn, took a loss, but I'm still